Enjoying the. How warm is it down there?
Uh, 54,
Okay, that's not too
fif-
bad.
53, but I'm sitting next to a fire, and thanks to two really good friends, they suggested I
Oh, you got
buy
the Row
this,
and Co.
which is probably in reverse, but you know what? Row and Co. Yeah, I did. And I'm gonna drink it out of my favorite whiskey glass, which is Pikes Peak.
So it
And
it looks
this
like you've had some already.
Not yet. Oh well, yeah, I have. That was during the weekend. Yeah,
What's your take? Was it worth the purchase?
I think so. I think so. If not, it's a great bottle that I'll try to figure out.
I mean, I've
Keep
just
it.
been really enjoying it. I've been sharing it with everybody who's come over.
How have they been liking it?
They've been blown away. I mean, it is so smooth for 90 proof,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
it's
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 really good.
it's very dangerous because of that.
It's true.
I am drinking an Ancho Reyes margarita.
I I bought two two bottles of mezcal to make some fancy margaritas, and for a game night that we had Saturday, National Game Day, or National Margarita Day, and we had one drink. So I have damn near.
Too smoky for you?
No, it was great. I loved it. But we just didn't drink anymore and went to Modelo's, and
Okay.
so now I've got enough tequila to last me till Cinco de Mayo.
Well, there you go. That's
Like
not a bad thing.
$150 worth
Oh my god.
left or whatever. Of Look at this. I can walk around and still talk. It's like I'm wireless mic'd. Wait, I am. Yeah, $150 worth of alcohol that's just sitting there now.
All right. On that note, I think we should start the show. Welcome, all the cherubic champions of the Chowderverse, to episode 9 of the Geekoid podcast. We are quickly approaching double digits.
And if anybody can't figure that out,
Yeah, that would be double digits. Yeah, which is exciting because
it is exciting.
I was thinking we might not ever get there, and that's 10 published episodes, so we're up to 6
Listen,
published
you
right
are
now.
so cynical. Listen, Linda, we're gonna be fine. We're figuring this out.
Hey, when we started this podcast, what, 10 plus years ago? Originally,
Yes,
we
we
never made it to
did.
10 episodes.
We did not. We made it to three, and I have them still saved on some SSD that will probably break down and corrupt somewhere. Actually, I think I even have it still. I bought Google Drive and started paying for Google Drive
I think I
specifically.
have it still in my Google Drive as
Yeah,
well.
so do I. Yep. So yeah, we can listen
Maybe
to
maybe we'll put some of those
Insael
out
and
like on YouTube or something. It's like a
yeah, just little snippets too.
jeez, I can't even remember what we talked about back then.
I don't either. That was 2014. I was living in California.
Yeah, I just gone through a divorce. It was
Yeah, that's fun.
this is really high points in our lives. But
It's
anyway,
just builds character.
turning points in people's lives. It came out that Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down as the head of Lucasfilm by the end of 2025.
Hmm. So what
So hopefully,
does
hopefully
that
this
mean?
means that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau can really just step up and take the reins and own
I
everything
think
going
so.
forward. I
I
think that's
think
a
so.
smart
But
move. I think that's what people want. I think it's been a mixed run for Kathleen Kennedy. There have been some.
Ooh, how so?
Well, I think there have been some high points, and there have been some not so high points
Sure, but she's been in it since, I mean,
for
basically,
a long time. Yeah,
I damn
since
near. This is
Lucas.
like her entire career has been, yeah, Lucas. I mean, she was a kid. She was in her 20s when she was helping George.
Yeah. So I mean, hats off to her. I mean,
Mm.
she's had a remarkable run, but not everything was.
I think too,
Uh,
you've got to think about this is also the Marvel side and the Disney side. And so then
what do you mean? No, she's
where
just Star Wars.
no, I know that, but
Oh,
corporate wise, you've got now these other entities, and I think she's like, and I'm assuming alleged, but she's like, God damn, I have been doing this for a long time, and you guys have way more intersecting ideas and stuff. So I think
and this is something that I've always wondered about with people like her who have these like legendary storied careers, all invested in one IP. Like some people can do that. I I don't have an IP that I can put my name on right now, so I can't claim to be one of those people. But I, I mean, even my professional career, I've jumped around from company to company, and it's crazy because I think of people like Kathleen Kennedy, and on the game side, you look at Ed Boon, who created Mortal Kombat and has been with it ever since, and he still is leading it, and he's done a phenomenal job. There's been some high points and some low points throughout Mortal Kombat, but
who's the two people too? Who's the one that's super famous in Nintendo who basically created like Mario and Zelda and all that?
Miyamoto.
Miyam is it Miyamoto?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sony, is that Kearney? No, what's his name? He was more software and now he's
Oh yeah.
he is real nerd.
Yeah,
Made me
and there's
laugh.
like even the who is it? Nobu Uematsu, I think, who is the composer behind so many of the Final Fantasy games.
Wow, good pull, man. Good pull. But there's so few left of these, like, would you say earlier, legacy?
I mean, not legacy, legendary.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's there. There's people who just stick with one franchise or one IP for the majority of their career, and they're wildly successful. And then other people, I feel like, give it give it a go, and then they want to try other things. I mean, you look at Cliff Bleszinski, who did Gears of War and was
We're just thinking of Cliff, yeah.
wildly successful in that, and then went on to do a number of other things, and is still doing a number of other things like comic books and musicals and like and it's nice having the freedom to go and pursue those things without like financially ruining yourself, which I think is something a lot of people would really like. But then you look at Eve Online, and the creator of Eve Online's been doing it for 30 years.
Really, really. Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's and it's amazing. A lot of these people have the staying power, and then other people just they're multi-hit wonders too. Like they go from IP to IP and franchise, and just hit it out of the park every time. So it's a crazy phenomenon.
Yeah, I wonder with Kennedy, and again, I don't know her at all. So everything I'm gonna say is
What?
just totally, yeah. I got her in my cell phone. I could call her anytime. I wonder if it is like just the mergent of like Fox and Disney and Marvel and Star Wars and them trying to figure their way to create new content. And I'm wondering with these other people we just named who are still in those industries with those companies, if she's kind of like, yeah, it's fine. You guys, it's time for me to go.
Honestly, like at some point you just want to go on vacation. I feel like a lot of these jobs are really intense, and you don't get a lot of breaks. I mean, I'm sure
No,
she took vacations, but it could
I'm sure
be
she was
a
still working while she
relentless
was doing it.
grind. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So kudos to her. I hope I wish her all the best in whatever her next endeavor is. But I'm also excited to see where Star Wars goes from here. It's kind of like an opportunity to, I don't know, reset and rethink things. There's been a lot of talk about starting new trilogies and new Star Wars properties not directly tied to the Skywalker legacy or the
Right.
Skywalker storyline.
And even within them, there's the old the old guild
The
or the old
Old Republic.
guard that want still that Lucas, and then there's the other people who are like, dude, how many more stuff can you show off? You tried it with three other movies.
Yeah, and then there's,
Mm,
and I think the other thing too is like maybe there's, I would really like to see a return to classic form, like just the Jedi are mysterious and not like, oh, space whales and
well,
telegraphing
we've talked
yourself
about it.
across light years and stuff. Anyway, so
I mean, like Knights of the Old Republic,
yeah.
they're still talking about remaking, and they could some of the books and stories that I've just read online, they could do great story arcs on that. And then you have what was it, the planet where the Sith came from, and then that was a storyline
Oh yeah, I mean
of
that's
Dark Cities, not Sidious, the first one.
well, I mean there's Darth
Who
Plagueis, Darth
wasn't
Sidious.
he actually wasn't that bad. Dude, do some of these stories. Like do like the 1,000 years prior.
Well, they
Like that would
tried to with Acolyte, and then they canceled it.
man, it wasn't great. It
It
wasn't
wasn't
bad.
great. I enjoyed it. I think I here's the thing. A lot of these big studios are they're in a weird space with their streaming production budgets.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
Yeah.
spent what $200 million on Acolyte, and
Wow.
I don't know where that money went, to be completely honest,
Wow. I
because
don't
that
either.
is a lot of money.
It's a lot of
And
money for a TV show.
with not a lot of like AAA talent, not a lot of huge fight scenes. Like yeah, like lightsabers, you got to do some VFX and some stuff, but like I don't know. It seems like a lot of these budgets at the big production houses are just getting out of control, and I think there's going to be a lot of disruption, especially with the continued use of AI tools. Like people and indie artists are going to put out good content for 1/1000th of the cost. And it's going to capture the mind share of interested parties. And I think Bloomhouse had a lot of success with this. Like they were producing really high content on shoestring budgets,
Yep.
and a lot of their stuff just went direct to streaming, and they found a huge amount of success with that.
Yep.
And I think you're going to see, like, yeah, they want to invest in their top IP, but you can't spend $200 million on a show and have it be middling.
I do. I wonder. So they have something with Skeleton Crew, and I need to watch it, and I'm going to watch it because it got pretty high praise. Like people dug it. It was Goonies, Star Wars, and it had that feel of even when we were kids in the 80s watching the original Star Wars. And then Andor season 2 came out, the trailer.
Yes.
It won't be out till April, late April, I think. Which I saved somewhere on the screen. Um, and it looks great so far, and the first season was amazing. So
Yeah.
there's at least two storylines, the way that they, though that group of writers and then the people who edited them and the directors and the other people above them who said no, take that out and do reshoots, those two are doing really well. What is it within those two that caught the audiences? Was it the suspense and the more adult type content of Andor and that free loving free loving, like I'm a fucking hippie. Like like just that back to basics, fun adventure
Well,
and taking a
here's the thing.
journey.
I think it's part of it. I think a lot of it comes down to the directors, the producers, like everybody who's involved. Like a lot of stuff goes into making these shows really engaging and watchable and compelling, and like a lot of it is to do with the writers' room and the way they set up the shows and the story arcs. Like I think it's difficult to really pin it on one thing in particular because it could be something
It
like
helps though.
it certainly does, but like Star Wars is such a rich universe, like everything from the sound to the sets to the costumes, like there's so much that goes into it, and I guess I can see maybe where that's part of the ballooning budget, because like you look at a show like Reacher and you don't have to build sets, you can just go to a small town in Maine and just shoot
Yeah, and
wherever you want.
just build the 6'5" guy.
So, like, yeah, there's a lot, but they also do a lot on green screens and sound stages, so that can't be that expensive. So it's I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, but on the topic of properties that are getting new life and a resurgence, the first first reactions to Daredevil Born Again have been just on fire.
Yeah,
Allegedly, it's like a return to MCU OG form that I think people have been clamoring for. And with that response, there are whispers that they might actually look at bringing back the other Netflix Marvel
that's
properties
interesting because they're trying to end
because they're looking for new
the
content.
what they are, and but they're also like Brave New World was a very odd way of them trying to end multi-universe, whatever, everything before, so that they can start with Fantastic Four and Doomsday and all that stuff. Um, I am curious. My my curiosity, and this it's the creative side of me, is they're gonna do this Born Again to try to probably finish that arc, and then if it's still popular, of course they're gonna keep it going. So then, do they move Daredevil and then potentially these others into the new phase? What are we in? Phase six? Phase
Phase
six.
6.
I don't even remember phase four. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because that'll be interesting for me to see as a viewer how they progress that. But it's another one I'm really excited for.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. And that's right around the corner if I'm not mistaken, like early March.
Yeah, I just had it saved. So that was one of the things that I did pull up for me was TV shows, and it was Black Ops, no. And it was, bear with me everybody, you're great. March 4th, Daredevil Born Again. And then wait for it. Good talk. Oh, side quest. Because I like well, that's Disney Plus show. Mythic Quest, which did a fourth season, which I didn't even see. So I'm now showing Katie season one of Mythic Quest. So they're doing side quest March 26th, which I'm excited for. Devil May Cry, which I'm excited for, even though it's like anime adjacent, but I
That's
love
fine.
the I love the Devil May Cry video game, so whatever.
Did you watch Arcane?
My God. It was so good, dude. I stayed up till 4 a.m. I just binged the whole thing like I was half falling asleep to it. Yeah, oh God. I thought season one was good. Season two,
I still have yet to finish
just,
season 2. Like anytime Rachel falls asleep when we're watching a
it's
show, I'll just let her sleep and I'll put Arcane on. So I'm
it's
getting
so
through it
good,
piecemeal
dude.
wise.
And to seeing the two sisters come
Oh,
together,
don't spoilers. Come on. Yeah.
yeah, you'll be fine. Last of Us season two is April 13th. So, like, these next 2 months are going to be great. Andor, April 22nd. Yeah, there's some. Really great stuff.
Man,
Eyes of Wakanda. I don't know what that is yet, but
we're gonna be busy.
it'll be fun.
Yeah,
It'll be a nice, really great spring.
yeah. I,
Of
I'm pumped for it.
I'm gonna have to resubscribe to Disney.
I'm not going to because I had a friend log in over the weekend so he could put some shows on for his daughters. And he's like, just keep it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. But in sadder news, Warner Brothers gaming division has closed, I think, 3 studios, canceling a Wonder Woman game that was in development,
Mhm.
and a few other things.
That would have been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the studios is the one behind Shadow of Mordor, which was such a well-received game. They kind of like created this whole Nemesis system that
It's good.
really took off, and
Yep.
is probably one of the best things that was created and was like really fresh in the whole gaming space. So it's a
That
damn shame to see
they did Mordor 2,
Monolith closing.
and then they did. Were they going to do a third one with that was focused on Smeagol, Gollum?
Got him! Got him!
I think so. Unless that was a different company.
Methinks officials would not approve of a Gollum game.
Oh my, oh my God. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's sad. Microsoft's doing interesting things too, where it almost looks like I'm not for sure. There's a lot of speculation of like what's going to happen with the next Xbox, and are they doing like a Sega type thing where they're going to start ramping down the console and then start putting their IPs across?
So
Phil has said pretty openly that like Switch 2 is something he is immensely interested in.
yeah, this is absolutely something I wanted to touch on because we know that the full details for the Switch 2 are coming April 2nd.
Rumors are, yeah, April 2nd. Rumors are it'll be on sale June.
Dang. Oh well.
And $400
I'd be surprised, but I've
because PlayStation, Xbox are 5, and so I think Nintendo wants to shoot themselves lower.
yeah,
The original Switch was 3, the OLED was 350. So people are speculating
yeah.
that it will be 4.
We'll see.
And
Four fifty. Yeah,
they're doing a
there'll be
bundle right
bundles.
now.
There'll be all sorts of things.
Well, they're doing a bundle right now with the OLED for 350 with Mario Wonder, which is a great side scroller. Like coming back to like some old school shit with new tech. Oh, what a great game. My God. And they're selling that for 350. So there's speculation they're trying to get the OLED out.
So here's my take on Microsoft and the Switch and Microsoft's wider decisions for the broader gaming space. I think they absolutely want to put their games on as many platforms as possible. So I think they're going to adopt the Switch too with open arms. All major titles that don't need the latest hardware, I think will
Yep.
probably start coming to the Switch too.
Yeah.
And I think it'll continue going to PlayStation. And here's the thing, I don't think Microsoft is going to abandon the Xbox because at the end of the day, it is a fairly profitable venture, I believe, for them. And like they don't like and if they were to just cede that market share entirely to PlayStation, like
Yes, which is
then
that's what
they're
they
just
would.
paying PlayStation royalties for no reason. And I don't think that's something that they want to do, especially with like how much IP that they have at this point. Like they want to capture as much as that as possible. I think the other thing too is that they're investing so much in the Xbox platform, like making it available on the iPad, making it available on iPhones. Like you can connect from almost any device. And so they have that infrastructure already. It's not a leap, skip, and a jump to just create another generation of hardware. Like it's not trivial. Don't get me wrong. It's going to cost them 100, 200, maybe half a bill to develop that. No, that seems a little
Sure.
egregious, but
I think they have it too, because one thing that they've done that Sony has not is they have been huge on crossplay. Matter of fact, pushing PlayStation over the years to
yeah.
do crossplay. And Microsoft, you buy a PC, you're in Microsoft's OS.
Well, also they have all the data centers. Like Microsoft games run on Azure. Like they have a huge advantage when it comes to that. And so much of what powers multiplayer gaming, obviously, and even just game distribution in general, comes down to that data center infrastructure. And then also the way AI is going to be adopted in the next generation and things like that. It's like Microsoft is better well positioned for all of that than any other gaming company, to be completely honest. So
Yeah.
to see them not
I would
do
assume
another
Sony would have to give
Xbox,
royalties. I would assume Sony would have to give royalties too if they want to do a PC port. They have to give royalties back.
no.
No?
So that's the amazing thing about the PC platform is that it's open, so anybody can develop for it, and you don't have to pay any royalties to anybody. That is just one of the things I love about being a PC gamer, first and
That's
foremost.
cool.
Because typically, not typically, but a lot of times the games will end up being cheaper. And granted, there are distribution costs, so you're going to pay some money to Steam or you're going to pay it to the Epic Games Store
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because distribution is a thing. I mean, you could put it in the Windows Play Store or the Xbox Store.
Do you
And
have to do royalties for Game Pass?
Game Pass
That's
is
Xbox, right? That's Microsoft.
that is yeah, that's Microsoft, that's Xbox. It's also available on PC, but the games that are included in Game Pass, that is a, a brain teaser of financial engineering, if you ask me. Like, because games will land on Game Pass and they will make their creators a good amount of money. If they didn't, then they wouldn't put it on there. But then, like, I don't understand how that revenue gets translated back to the devs, and I have yet to see anybody really explain it. Like, part of it comes down to downloads and gameplay and effectively usage, if you will, of said game. So it's difficult for me to wrap my head around how it. Maybe when I have my next game out, and maybe I'll come to Game Pass. We'll see. I can do a whole report on it if I'm not
Hey,
under NDA.
I'm off on Sunday if you want to talk offline.
I'd be up for that because Rachel will be probably a little high because she's getting her wisdom teeth out.
Fair. All right, well, let's put it on the calendar.
Okay, cool.
I did want to mention, so I said that I would do one or two iOS games, and I said roughly that if there was ever a board game that was worth talking about, there's tons, but worth within this sphere of the geekoid. And I can say the board game real fast. Metal Gear Solid has been in development. The board game has been in development for years, and it finally is out to pre-order or buy. It's by a designer who, like Reiner Knizia, is a great designer. Bruno Catala is a great designer. This one is Emerson Masucci, who this dude is a legit designer. I just watched a review of it last night, and it is Metal Gear Solid, the first one from PlayStation. And the guy's review, he's so good. His name's Brian Drake. He's an affiliate of Dice Tower. So between all that stuff, you should be able to do a search in YouTube to find it. Um, it looks, and from what he says, feels just like the video game on your board, even when it's only Snake moving through areas, you can still do a multiplayer. And he says it is amazing. And
It
it is heavy stealth, even using the box. Like Emerson didn't like skip on anything. Um, and
I'm
I
looking
am
at pictures right now, and it looks pretty incredible.
the molds are the figurines are great, and then he painted, and he's a really good model painter, and he did these just super high detail of Otacon and Snake, and
Yeah.
it looks so great, dude. So video game to board game doesn't happen very often. It's happened a little bit recently, uh, but this is such a classic.
Well, I have one for next week, so
And as far as iOS goes, two games are on pre-order right now. One is the PC version of Dredge, which, if anybody wants a more Cthulhu dark version of Dave the Diver, Dredge, which is also coming out for board game. I think it's going to be named something else, but it's going to have the same feel. So I'm excited about that. I'm probably going to buy it to at least try it out and see how it goes. But it's on pre-order. I pre-ordered that to see. It will go on sale the 27th, and we are what, the 25th? We're on the 25th. So in 2 days, it will be on sale. So it's pre-order right now. You can at least download it right now. There is going to be a sale on it. I don't know that many more details before this podcast came out of what Dredge is. If you know Dredge, you can give 2 cents. But my final one is Laura Croft in
excuse me, who?
yeah, Laura Croft in The
You just
Guardian.
lost like 15 points of nerd cred.
No, Laura Croft, the Guardian of Light. It was a.
Lara Croft.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Laura.
Oh
Lara,
God.
Lara, hey Lara, Lara, hey Lara. La, Lara Croft. And the Guardian of Light. It was an old iOS that they totally did a redo, remake, remaster of. Plus, they added levels that were only on the PC and some other system. They added all those levels in it. And it's the game style you and I love to play, where it's top down and just fucking shooting fire. Just shoot everybody that's coming towards you.
Okay, so like
Like a
top
twin
down
twin
isometric, two
twin
dimensional.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a twin stick shooter. That's it. That's what I was looking for. And it looks beautiful. So I also pre-ordered that. And that will also be coming out the 27th, so in 2 days.
All right. Okay.
2 days to this recording.
So that game originally came out in 2010.
I know. I
Talk about a
know.
throwback.
Yeah, and it looks gorgeous. 60 to 120 frames or hertz or whatever. Again, this is where the game side of me falls short. It should play very high and should play very well if
Oh
you
yeah.
have
Any
higher,
any device at this point.
like a Mac to an
That's
iPhone
15
to
years
an
ago.
iPad. Well, 120, I don't know. Yeah.
It's
Hopefully at least 60.
yeah.
60 I'll be perfectly fine with.
All right. I just want to do a quick recap of my experience with Civilization 7.
Oh, how many hours are you in?
I've played two full games, beginning to
What?
end.
Stage one, two, and three, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. So
How they call those? Age.
yeah, ages. So antiquity, exploration, and modern.
Your first one was who did you go with?
So here's a weird thing. I don't know if it's weird, but it's different. So you choose a leader completely irrespective of the civilization, which is
Oh,
very new for the
okay.
series. And then every age, as you progress, you choose a new civilization, each with their own different bonuses, different unique districts and units and stuff like that. So it's what they did to change up the gameplay so it didn't get stale because they found people weren't finishing games because a,
It's
a
long.
single game of Civilization
Yeah.
could just get
Fucking long, dude.
really long. So I do like what they've tried. Some of the gameplay systems have been a bit simplified, not to my liking. I liked the depth in some of the areas in Civilization 6.
I think somebody else said that too. They were,
Yeah,
it's trying to bring some new audience in.
yeah, absolutely. Which I understand, and I think in the expansions they'll probably introduce more depth. But there's yeah, it's kind of lacking in some areas, and then other the UI needs some more time to bake and to polish because I found like making really simple mistakes and like not getting the information that I would want. Like, oh, I want to place this building in a district that has its pair. Like, just tell me which district has the pair, and instead I have to hover over each district in my 20 district town, and it takes forever. And it also trying to wrap your head around the reason to convert a town into a city and the benefits of that are a little obscure and difficult to really wrap your head around from like a gameplay perspective. Like I've played, like I said, two times through it completely, and I've started and I've given up on a number of games for different reasons, just testing at different difficulties and like different strategies and things like that. And it's just, I still can't grok it. It's like you can choose a town specialty, but I still don't know how that translates into overall yields. And there's not a view that really kind of helps you understand the ramifications of doing something. So I think it takes a lot more learning to get to that sophisticated echelon of play.
Well, yeah. I mean, Civ has always been like a higher tier thinky style video game, just like we have,
Yeah, which is what I love about it. But
higher
I
higher
liked it
tier board
because I was
games.
strategizing, not because I was trying to figure out how the game works. That's the point I'm trying to make.
How does like
It is beautiful
do
though.
you remember six? Do you remember enough of six to be like, oh, well, this was easier, or I
Oh yeah,
see
I had
like I love what you did now,
I had a good
and I
amount of
hated then.
trouble adapting to 6 or adapting to 7 because I played so much of 6, and I'm playing this new game and my brain is still thinking in the context of the game systems from 6. And
Like, did they do a complete overhaul?
the way like unit experience works and generals and the way units travel, like, and the way districts work, like everything has been rethought and is different.
Good. I mean, it sounds like overall not great, but there's other people who are like, they're 50-50, maybe more open-minded,
Hi, buddy.
not for sure.
I'll be
Where's the
with you in a
baby?
minute.
So the baby. I want to see the baby.
Well, you'll see me after the show. I think it's I, don't know, I like
Are
I
you still enjoying the game, Eric? Jesus Christ.
I'm still playing it.
Two games in?
Yeah, I mean I've sunk at least 10, 16
You're
hours into it.
Are you on Steam right now so I can tell you the hours?
Oh, I bought it through Epic Game Store.
Okay. Does Epic give you that too?
That's an excellent question.
Thanks, bro.
I will look. Where's my library?
I would like to say, everybody, while I'm I don't know what the word is, vamping, I think. This fire is delightful. Yes, I do have a down coat on, which is great in one regard, warmth. Not great next to a fire. Uh, but it's by Outdoor Vitals, who is a local U.S. company in Utah, and you should totally check them out. And the coat wasn't it wasn't that much,
And
$200
but if they
bucks.
want to sponsor us, then
Oh my God, Outdoor Vitals, oh God.
so I don't see any play stats, and that's probably for the best because every time I open up Steam, I get a little embarrassed because
My favorite game is still Left 4 Dead. It is my all-time. When I think of Steam, I love that game. And still to this day, if I had a good enough PC or if there was a Mac that could handle it, I'm sure there is. I mean, it's been out forever. But man, Left 4 Dead 2, oh my God, I've had so much fun with that game. And not with you, which is crazy.
coincidentally, yeah.
Not with you. Oh my God, I would have so much fun with you.
So I mean, I think next week maybe we talk about Steam because I have a lot of thoughts. So Steam Next Fest is going on right now. It's
Which is,
a
for
celebration
those who
of
don't know,
upcoming
which is including
games.
me.
So that started today, I believe. If is today 24th? It started yesterday and it goes until next week. So it's
Oh,
kind of
it's 2 weeks.
no, it's just like a week really
Oh, okay. All right.
till March 3rd. So yeah,
Legit.
it's about a week. But yeah, we could talk about that. There's a lot of stuff upcoming. I think the thing people wanted to see was what's Steam working on, or what's Valve working on.
Fuck, let's not even go there. Jesus. We've been talking about this even without this podcast for like 20 years. Oh, God. They were talking about a Left 4 Dead 3 or 4. I don't even remember at this point. They were talking about they're still going to do oh damn, what's the game that they're so super uber and they did the virtual version of that. It's their first game.
Half-Life.
Thank you.
Yeah,
There's still, there was a hint, there was a documentary,
I it's,
and then everybody still was like maybe, and I'm pretty sure he said no. And everybody was like, well, maybe.
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
no.
they are doing stuff like Counter-Strike 2 came out not too long ago. I
Yes.
mean, they're still pumping out tons of updates for Dota 2. And I get caught there all the time. But those are really the
Yeah,
only things that are actively
them in League,
in
I can't.
development, I would say, except for anything that else is not announced.
Dota 2 is great. I can't.
It
I,
is.
I
I
can't.
have more hours into that game than anything else, hands down.
That and Eve? Whoa, bro.
Here's the question with Eve.
Whoa, dude.
Do you add up just like, let's say I have eight
Yes,
accounts running at the same time? Is 1 hour spent running those 8 accounts count as 8 gameplay hours or just 1 hour?
yes. Because you're playing. You're playing. You're in the game, whether it's another ship elsewhere with another faction or whatever. You're playing.
I re
Eve, bro, you went. Didn't you go and like to their whatever
Yeah,
year?
I took my wife to Toronto for the for their world tour, and we I competed in the tournament, and we partied with the lead game designer, and he bought us drinks and appetizers and charcuterie.
Charcuterie, charcuterie,
And
charcuterie.
we had a blast. And I love the Eve community. It is. I tried to get back into it. I downloaded the client and I opened it up and I'm like, it's changed so much. I can't get back into this. It's such a optimization time sink. I don't. Oy.
And there, anyone listening to the iOS version, was it Eve? Oh, damn, I don't remember what that one is because
I
it's been.
played it for like a week.
It's really good. It's really good, but it is
It's watered
a.
down. It's just yeah,
It's fine. No, stop. What I was
yeah.
gonna
It's fine.
say is
Whatever.
it is a time sink. You can do all kinds of crazy shit, but it is still Eve, and it will. Man, we call those in the board game a lifestyle game.
That would be very appropriate. All right, let's wrap it up. My kid needs to go to bed. I need to make some tacos, and I need to make another drink.
Yeah, my wife is doing her first trial of CrossFit, and so she'll be home
Oh,
roughly
I'd like
in a
to get
little
a
bit.
report on that next time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the next few minutes, see how she liked the first one. She's got three, and then after that, she has to pay.
All righty. Well, signing off, your hosts, Eric Westland and Jared Shaw.
What up?
You can go to www.geekoid.com and sign up for updates.
It's a really good idea that we say this.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go to Substack.
And then I do promise by the time this is live, you will be able to find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts just by searching for Geekoid.
So when this is live, will they have 10 episodes to then scrub through?
No, they're only going to have 9 by the time this is live. Because I
Okay,
want this
great.
to be live before we record next week.
Okay, good.
And then after that 10th episode drops, then we go on a PR blitz. You're going to have to blow the dust off of your social media accounts and talk to your 14 followers.
We're all board gamers. They listen to podcasts. It's fine.
Cheers, brother. Good to see you.
Cheers. Ching.
Love you. Ka-ching.
I love you too.
Mahalo.
Wow.
No, aloha.
Cheers,
Sorry,
bitches.
mahalo means family.
Cheers, motherfucker.
End of transmission.